Okay, live.
Good afternoon. May I have your attention, please? I want to welcome you all to the 2022 annual membership meeting of San Isabel Electric Association. My name is Ray Garcia. It is my pleasure to serve as president of San Isabel Electric. To open the meeting, I would like to invite Mr. Dennis Maroney, our board vice president and director representing District 2 in Rye, to give our invocation. Dennis?
Our Father in heaven, we're thankful for the opportunity we have to meet together as members of this electrical co-op. We're thankful, Father, for the blessings we enjoy, for the area in which we live. We pray now that that will be with those who provide us the protection we need, the military, the first responders. We're thankful for their service. We ask, Father, that as we enter this meeting, that we will have the spirit of understanding and cooperation that we all might learn together. We're thankful for all we've been given, and we know thy hand is in all things, and we pray that we might be worthy of the blessings that we enjoy. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
For those of you that can stand, I would please ask if you would stand, remove your caps, and we'll pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Hopefully you can all hear. I know the fans are making a lot of noise, but if you can't hear, let me know and I'll have them turn it up, I guess. I would like to now invite Mark Gomez to the stage to lead us in the singing of our national anthem. Mark.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mark, for that outstanding rendition of the national anthem. We are so glad to be back together with you for an in-person annual meeting. Thank you and the staff of John Mull High School for your support in hosting us today. The past 2 years, due to COVID, we were forced to hold our annual meeting virtually. It's so good to see you all again. It really is. Our mission at San Isabel Electric is to deliver on the promise of service and value. As a board, we take this commitment very seriously, from making investments in our system to improve reliability, to closely monitoring expenses. Your board of directors works to ensure we follow this mission for you, our members. We know you've seen cost increases at the gas pump and in retail stores. At San Isabel Electric, we have seen cost increases in nearly everything we need to run our cooperative, from fuel to materials to support services. Everything in the world we share together is more expensive today. Thank you for being a member of San Isabel Electric. Thank you for being here today. And thank those who are watching online. I would like to introduce some special guests. Alicia Meadows, who is Huerfano County Assessor. If you want, you could stand when I say your name. Debbie Reynolds, our Huerfano County Treasurer. Gerald Cisneros, Huerfano County Commissioner. Carmen Lara, Walsenburg City Council. Reg Rudolph, here representing Tri-State. Lonnie Tucker, also here representing Tri-State. Kent Singer, who is the CEO of Colorado Rural Electric Association. And Steve Valdez, who is the treasurer of Colorado Rural Electric Association. If we have any veterans or active duty members of our military in attendance today, please stand and be recognized. And thank you all for your service. Any first responders and healthcare professionals in attendance today, please stand and be recognized. Okay. And thank you for your service. All San Isabel Electric employees in attendance, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service to our members and for putting us to bed today. Do we have any retired San Isabel employees in attendance today? I think we do have a couple. Yes, we do. Today, we would like to honor a special young man, Jonathan Andrietta. Jonathan, would you please step up here? Jonathan is an alumni of John Mull High School and a three-time state champion wrestler during high school. Jonathan's father, David, is a staking engineer for us at San Isabel Electric, and his family are longtime residents of Huerfano County. This past year, as a wrestler at Adams State University in Alamosa, Jonathan won the NCAA Division II National Championship in the 133-pound weight class. That's a rare feat, Jonathan. We're honored to have you with us today. We are proud of your accomplishments both on and off the mat. Here are some of the words from Jason Ramstetter, Jonathan's coach at Adams State University. And he says, I quote, Jonathan was great to work with over the years. He's a great team leader, and especially to the younger guys on the team. He helped out in numerous ways. His last couple of years, he was as much of a coach as he was a teammate. During community engagements, he took charge and was a huge part of engagements he did. During camps, he thrived helping young wrestlers. He works great in showing skills, but also enjoys getting to know the kids regardless of age or skill level. He went to go coaching wrestling at Glenville State in West Virginia, where he will be an asset to them. Unfortunately for me, I lost a great leader and wrestler. He's a great kid and will be missed. Thank you again, Jonathan, for being here, and congratulations on your accomplishments. Best wishes to you and the San Isabel family. And if you want, the mic is yours.
Sweet. So yeah, thank you guys. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'd also like to thank San Isabel for bringing me here today. A special thank you goes out to Josh Viapondo. Thank you for being such a great role model and a coach for the last 15 years to me. I'd like to thank my mom, Serena. Thank you for loving me and supporting me, even though I could drive you up the wall. Thank you to my dad, David. You know, there was a lot of days where he'd come home from work and he'd still somehow find the energy to come and practice with me and help me lift. So thank you for that. Thank you to my sister, Tabitha. She's not here today, but she was a pretty good darn training partner, even though she'd never practiced the sport. There were my dad had put me in the best possible situation to succeed. And I would just like to thank my family especially. But finally, I'd like to thank my community, because without a community like this, none of this would be possible. So give yourself a round of applause. I take great pride in being raised in Walsenburg, Colorado. I remember as a middle schooler, I dreamed of becoming a 4-time state champion. I did not accomplish this goal, but me not accomplishing this goal was the best thing that ever happened to me, honestly. It allowed me to strive for something even bigger, and that was to become a national champion. And so for the last 6 years, I worked day in and day out, you know, to work to this goal, and I can finally say that I've finally accomplished my dreams. And so wrestling changed my life. And I'm so blessed to be raised in a community with such a strong wrestling program. And so for those that do not know, I've decided not to take my last year of eligibility. I am, like Ray said, I'm coaching over in West Virginia at Glenville State University. So again, thank you all for the continued support over the years. And just remember, just because you are from a small town, that doesn't mean that you can't compete with the nation's best. Thank you.
Jonathan, please accept this plaque from the San Isabel family. It's just a small token of our appreciation. Now I would like to honor Mr. Joseph Costa for his service. Mr. Costa, can you step up here? Mr. Joseph Costa served as the board director of San Isabel District 7, representing Aguilar and areas west of Trinidad and Los Animas County from May 28, 2003 to April 22nd of 2022, a period spanning nearly 20 years. During that time, Mr. Costa became a credentialed cooperative director, received the board leadership and director gold credential with the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, And Joseph, we thank you for your service to San Isabel Electric membership, for your commitment to the board and to our San Isabel Electric communities.
I thank all of you for your support for the 20 years that I served on the board. Rest assured that the board is on your side and will always be part of your family. Thank you.
Next, if I could get Mr. John Pickerel, would you come to the stage? John Pickerel served as a board member for District 8, September 19th, 2029 to September 17th, 2022, a period spanning 3 years. During that time, Mr. Pickerel became a credential cooperative director and represented San Isabel in our Pueblo West community, as well as leading efforts to research and implement clean nuclear generation at the state and federal level. John lost his wife earlier this year, and with 2 teens at home, he decided not to seek re-election at the end of his term in order to spend more time with his young family. John, we thank you for your service to San Isabel Electric, for your commitment to the board and to our San Isabel Electric communities. We wish you the very best.
When I stood up here 3 years ago and ran for this position, which by the way, my wife talked me into, I said it wasn't hard for her to convince me because I was always fascinated with the electric community and how it ticked. And I can tell you, I'm not disappointed. The first thing I'd like to say is I've been involved in a lot of different organizations. And this is probably the most professional group of people I've ever worked with. And that includes my time in the Navy and 22 years in manufacturing. We have a pretty loaded bench. You have Ray Garcia, who's been in this industry for 35 years and probably knows all the history about it. You have Debbie Rose, who is our voice at CREA. Dennis Mahoney, who's influential at Western Union, who supplies a lot of our equipment. Jackie Seitz, who serves on ACRE and CARE, our lobbying committees. And who am I forgetting? And Don, yeah, how can I forget that? Don's report is my favorite report on the board. It's Tri-State, and Tri-State is who we buy all our power from. And everybody makes fun of Don for having a long report, but I love it because it's the most interesting part of the whole board. Someone once said, you know, hope you live in interesting times. And my 3 years on the board has been very interesting. I first came in, Pueblo was fighting with Black Hills, and had they gone to municipal utility, we would have been, may have been a part of that. You have the huge push on renewables that's changing the whole industry. You had the Texas freeze and the California heat waves that showed that maybe there's some reliability problems with going too fast to renewables. And these are all the things that we've had to deal with. And so it's been very, very interesting. I haven't been disappointed. So I wanted to thank you for these last 3 years. They have truly been interesting times, and the electric industry is very fascinating, and you're just in great hands with this board. So I just want to say thank you.
John, don't go away. I'll call on Mr. John Pickerel again as the board secretary. He will give you the affidavit of determination of quorum, the notice of the meeting and affidavit of mailing, and the reading of last year's minutes. John?
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. I, John Pickerel, Secretary of the Board of Directors of San Isabel Electric Association, do hereby certify, and according to the registration records, there are at least 50 members present at this annual membership meeting, which meets the bylaws requirements and is in compliance with the statutes of the state of Colorado. Total estimated registered are 422. Total in attendance, 1,266. I will now read the affidavit of mailing and notice. Bonnie Myers, being first duly sworn upon her oath, deposes and says that she is clerk of San Isabel Electric Association Incorporated, that she mailed on August 19th, 2022, and on September 2nd, 2022, to each member of record of said cooperative at the address as appears on the records of said cooperative, one copy of the printed notice of the regular meeting of the membership of San Isabel Electric Association to be held September 17th, 2022. So today, you received a copy of the 2021 annual report from San Isabel Electric. If you didn't get one, there's still a few on the table in the corner. Included in this report is the minutes from last year's meeting. I will now read last year's minutes, unless the membership would like to dispense of the reading of the minutes. So moved. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion to approve to dispense of the reading of last year's minutes, please indicate by saying aye. All those opposed to the dispense of the reading of last year's minutes, please indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and we will dispense with reading of the minutes. Thank you. I will now turn back over to Mr. Garcia.
We do need approval of the minutes. We did approve to dispense with the reading. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of last year's meeting. Did I hear yes? Okay, and I have a second. Okay, second. We do have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, say nay. Thank you. There's one nay. You want it recorded? We'll record it. I now call on Ms. Debbie Rose, the Board Treasurer and Director from District 1, representing Beulah, Wetmore, and the vicinity to the stage for the Treasurer's report. Debbie?
First of all, good afternoon. This is really exciting. First time that we're back together after 2 years. But I want to wish each and every one of you a great big thank you for coming and participating in your cooperative, because you as members really drive where we're going as far as that. So thank you. But here is the 2021 Treasurer's Report. Also included in the 2021 annual report, this, which is at the table if you want to look at it, is the overall review of the 2021 financial performance for our cooperative. The 2021 books and records of San Isabel Electric Association Incorporated were reviewed and audited by an independent auditor employed by the San Isabel Board of Directors. There were no exceptions, and the books and the records were found to present fairly the financial position of San Isabel Electric. The auditor provided an unmodified audit opinion. The auditor indicated that San Isabel Electric was in good financial condition and is in compliance with the debt covenants. Rates for the electric service were held steady for the 7th consecutive year. Since 2014, San Isabel Electric has returned more than $7.7 million in capital credits to you, our members, schools, businesses, and residents. In 2021 alone, San Isabel Electric returned more than $980,000 in capital credits to over 18,000 members. We are pleased to present this report to you.
I will call for or entertain a motion to approve our financial reports. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion? Second? Second? Okay, thank you. All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. I now call Mr. Cis Maza, General Counsel for San Isabel Electric, to the stage for the nominating committee report, nomination by petitions, and results of the 2022 election of the board of directors. Sisto?
Thank you, Mr. Garcia, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2022 annual meeting of the membership of San Isabel Electric Association. If you have a chance to review the agenda for today's meeting, you will note that one of the items on the agenda is the election of board members. San Isabel currently has a board consisting of 7 members. These members are each elected from the district where they reside, and each elected director serves for a period of 3 years. These terms are staggered so that in any one year, there's either 2 or 3 members that are up for election every year. This year, we were originally scheduled to have 2 seats up for election. However, due to the early retirement of Mr. Joseph Costa from District Number 7, we have 3 seats that are up for election this year. Now, there are a couple of ways that members can be considered for election to the board. The first is to be nominated by the nominating committee. That committee met earlier this summer at the headquarters at Pueblo West, and at that time, the committee made the following nominations to the board. District Number 2, which is the Rye, Colorado, and vicinity, Mr. Dennis Maroney. District Number 7, which is the Aguilar, Trinidad West, and vicinity, Mr. Don Tokar. District Number 8, there was no nomination by the nomination committee for District Number 8. District Number 8 is the Pueblo West proper. The second avenue to be considered for a board seat is through the petition process. If a member wants to be considered for the board, he or she can circulate a petition, and if they can obtain 15 signatures from members of San Isabel, their name is placed on the ballot and they would be considered for election at today's meeting. This year, San Isabel received the following petitions, the nominations by petitions. District Number 8, Ms. Doris Morgan. There were not any petitions for District Number 2 or District Number 7. Now, since we only have 1 member being considered for each seat today, our bylaws provide that that information is to be provided to the board at this meeting, and those members will stand elected to the board. I would like to welcome each of the newly elected directors to address the membership at this time. We'll start with Mr. Maroney from District Number 2. Mr. Maroney.
Well, first, I'd like to thank members of my district for allowing me to serve another term. I want to express my thanks to Joseph and John, who have been on our board for the last 3 years, and learned much from them. I've enjoyed serving with them. And I look forward to serving again with Doris and with Don as they join our board the upcoming years. I want to tell you that the first thing I'd like to do is thank the employees of San Isabel Electric. You know, I had an experience a couple of years ago, and the memory is just etched in my mind. As we drove from Colorado City to Rye in a big snowstorm with little visibility, I saw all these lights off to the side of the road. And as we drew closer, I could see one of our bucket trucks and identify all these lights shining up on the pole as a lineman climbed that pole to make repairs in that snowstorm. And to me, that exemplifies the service and the dedication employees of San Isabel have. And I thank them for that. And I think you ought to realize that you have those kind of employees working for you as co-op members. And the last thing I'd like to say is that you do have a great board of directors. I can't say that they're responsible for that dedication and service of the employees, but I can say that they too are dedicated and they too work on your behalf. I've been able to travel a lot, both within the state of Colorado and nationwide representing San Isabel. And I've met great board members from all over the United States. But I can say this without hesitation. You have the best right here at San Isabel. Thanks again for allowing me to serve another term. We'll do our best to get through the challenges that we face in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maroney, and congratulations on your re-election to the board. Mr. Tokar, would you please come forward and address the membership?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mazza. You know, the first thing I'd like to do is to thank everyone that's been involved in making this annual event such a great success. You know, the dedication and the contributions that, you show are greatly appreciated. And I'd just like to thank you all for your efforts. This is a fantastic turnout. And the reason it's a fantastic turnout is because of all the hard work the employees and everyone that is involved in this kind of put together. So if you would, please put your hands together and give them a thank you, if you would, please. You know, when I found out I was getting an opportunity to work with such a great association, I thought it'd be a good idea to look back into the company's history and see kind of what type of people helped to build this great organization. The more I researched and the more I talked to the membership, and the more I kept thinking about, those famous words we've all heard before is, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. And these inspiring words urged Americans to take actions and that benefited the greater good. In essence, our people thrive when we all contribute our talents for the common good. On a smaller scale, I think the same can be said about our association, specifically with regard to our members and our boards. San Isabel Electric board members are community-minded individuals with a variety of skill sets. This board is made up of educators, engineers, city and county officials, construction professionals, veterans, retirees, ranchers, and farmers, and much, much more. Our directors live right in the association's service area, and San Isabel Electric considers the directors the eyes and the ears of the community because they provide a perspective on important community issues that occur. It takes many people with different skills to create a well-rounded board that represent the full spectrum of our communities. But above all else, San Isabel Electric board members are folks who love their community and want to see them thrive, not only now, but also into the future as well. Well, when I was approached to consider running for the District 7 board seat, I had a few questions. So the first person I called was Mr. Joseph Costa. Joe and his wonderful wife, Anita, were kind enough to invite me up to visit with them at their beautiful ranch in Stonewall. When I got there, one of the first questions I had for Joe was, what does it mean to serve on the board of directors at San Isabel Electric? Well, as you all know, Joe looked right at me, gave me a little smile and said, serving on the board means making a difference in your community by using your individual talents and perspective to guide big decisions about the association that in turn will, benefit the larger community. While the day-to-day decisions are made by the San Isabel staff, major decisions are made by the board. And the board's mission is to look out for not only the vitality of San Isabel Electric, but also for the communities that it serves. But also on a granular level, the board members review budgets, business goals, charitable contributions, capital investments, economic development, and much, much more. Well, Joe, I don't think my question could have been answered any better than that. And I would just like to say thank you for your honesty, for your insight, and your help. It is all greatly appreciated. And ladies and gentlemen, along those lines, I would like to ask you to please now join me in saying thank you to Mr. Joseph Costa for his 20 years of exemplary and dedicated service to not only San Isabel Association, but more importantly, to all the members and their communities that he has helped to shape and improve during his service. If you would please again, help me thank Mr. Joseph Costa for such a great job. Well, in closing, I'd just like to say that the energy industry is undergoing some major transitions. The technology advancements and the increased consumer preference for more renewable energy is driving change. San Isabel is facing big decisions, and the board members have an opportunity to help chart a course for our future. To serve the community best, we need the input from a wide range of people that represent the board's broad spectrum of views within our communities. And I will do my best to help chart that course that best serves the communities and San Isabel Electric Association. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Tokar, and congratulations on your election to the board. This time, I'd like to call upon Ms. Doris Morgan to address the board membership. Doris?
Good afternoon. First, let me thank John for his last 3 years of service to the San Isabel Board and the Pueblo West community. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank every one of you for attending this afternoon. I know we all have plenty of things to do, so for your willingness to come out and be a part of the San Isabel annual meeting is greatly appreciated. And also for those that are participating in this annual meeting virtually, thank you for taking the time to listen in to hear what's happening and going on with San Isabel. I'd also like to thank every one of the San Isabel employees. As it's already been mentioned, San Isabel has some great employees, and what you see here today is only a tip of the work that they do in your communities. So when you see that next San Isabel employee, no matter where you see them, thank them, please, for the work they do. We take it for granted when we flip that switch that we have electricity, but we sure notice it when we flip that switch and we don't have it. So they do a lot for this organization. I just want to say I look forward to serving on the board, and I look forward to serving the Pueblo West San Isabel membership.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan, and congratulations on your election to the board. That concludes my reports, Mr. Chairman. I'll turn the meeting over back to you.
Spill it all over myself. Normally what we do is, now's the time for the president's report. A lot of times president just says, thank you and all, but this time I'm going to give a little bit of a report. 2021 was another good year at San Isabel Electric. Despite the challenges of COVID and our typical high winds and winter storms, our company continues to perform. Near the end of 2021, we dealt with the departure of Reg Rudolph as our general manager. Reg is in attendance today representing our power supplier, Tri-State Generation and Transmission, and he works as the Chief Energy Innovations Officer. Reg, thank you for over 13 years of service to San Isabel Electric. As we look to 2023, we must keep up with increasing costs in order to provide our current level of services. Not having a rate increase since 2014 has been good for the membership and is something we are very proud of. However, we are seeing significant increases in the cost of our services to you, especially in maintenance. Our system has over 4,600 miles of line with approximately 75,000 power poles. Many of those poles are 70 to 80 years old. Through the years, we have been replacing as many poles as we can within a limited yearly budget. But rising costs and the inflation rate in the state of Colorado of over 8% this year, we cannot continue to replace poles and ensure reliable service without an increase in rates. We must continue to do maintenance of our systems to avoid a major disaster. This year we had a rotted pole fall and cause a fire. This was near Greenhorn Mountain. Luckily, the fire was spotted and put out without causing major damage. It could have easily spread into the forest or into a populated area and cause damage to homes or maybe even the loss of life. As our system gets older, it requires more and more upgrading and maintenance. Since this upgrading and maintenance affects all our members, we are looking at increasing the residential access charge and considering increases in other areas. We do not want to do this, but we must keep up with the cost of doing business and our commitment to providing you with reliable electric service. I have been told by many of our members that we should have been increasing our service charge by $1 or $2 every year so that we would not shock our members with a large increase. We will strive to keep an increase as low as possible and may consider a small yearly increase. To accomplish this, we will hold a rate hearing for the membership on Thursday, November 3rd, at the Huerfano County Community Center here in Walsenburg at 6 o'clock in the evening, where you can ask questions and learn more about the 2023 rates. I apologize for having to bring this scenario to you, but I know that you, the membership, must be kept informed of what we are doing and why. We did not want to spring a rate increase on you without a little warning. That is my report. Thank you.
It's hard to put a face with a name these days. In today's world, you can get almost anything you need without speaking to someone in person. Whether it's buying groceries or paying a bill, you can do it all from your device, which makes personal relationships with the businesses you interact with few and far between. From the plains of Sage in Pueblo West to the beauty of Fisher's Peak in Trinidad, members of your electric cooperative are woven into the beautiful territory we serve. And here in San Isabel Country, we still prefer to do business with a handshake and a smile. You might not realize it, but when you signed up for service from San Isabel Electric, you became a member and owner of an electric utility. You see, back in the early 1900s, when electricity was introduced, it was only available to urban residents. Small town residents went without because it wasn't profitable for large investor-owned utilities to bring electricity to areas with less people. It was Theodore Roosevelt that said, "The farmers above all should have power on reasonable terms for cheap transportation, for lighting their homes, and innumerable uses for daily tasks on the farm." He made it his mission to bring power to small towns, and electric cooperatives were born. Then, and even more so now, electric cooperatives improve quality of life. San Isabel Electric maintains more than 4,600 miles of line, spanning 6,600 square miles. Our service area is bigger than Connecticut and Rhode Island combined. Our line crews work tirelessly, often in difficult and dangerous situations. A large portion of our lines are in rugged, remote areas that are hard to access. Through system improvements, increased tree trimming and meter inspections, testing and replacement, San Isabel Electric has reduced the frequency and length of power outages by more than half since 2017. They work night and day, rain or shine, to make sure the lights come on when you flip a switch. For the last 84 years, San Isabel Electric has been locally owned and operated. While San Isabel is part of a large network of utilities, its ownership has always remained at the local level. This means we're there for our members on a close-knit basis as we supply jobs, pay local taxes, fund scholarships, and provide financial support to meet the needs of the communities we serve. Our board upholds the unique democratic business model that distinguishes your electric cooperative from investor-owned utility companies whose sole purpose is to make a profit. Through responsible financial governing, San Isabel Electric members have only experienced one increase on their bill in the last 13 years. Electric cooperatives play a vital role in transforming communities. We all need electricity to conduct business, educate our youth, and keep people safe. We take our commitment to provide you affordable energy seriously. We believe that knowledge is power. That's why we launched Empower, a program to help you read your electric bill data and determine ways in which energy-efficient products can save you money. Supporting our members with recommendations and working with you to find a trusted contractor, we ensure you get a competitive bid and help guide the project from start to finish. We also offer rebates when you switch to energy-efficient options. In fact, in 2021 alone, we provided more than $100,000 in rebates to our members. San Isabel Electric powers more than 25,000 businesses, homes, schools, and farms across 7 counties. Community is important to us, and that's why we invest in areas we cover. When we experience excess revenue, we hold on to those funds in reserves as capital credits and ultimately reinvest those funds back into the community or return them directly to our members through our community donation and youth outreach programs. San Isabel Electric recognizes that students come from a variety of backgrounds. Since our scholarship program began in 1990, we've expanded it to provide opportunities to a wider range of individuals. Our scholarship program is here to make sure that our youngest members who want to pursue higher education can do so. Our youth outreach program also includes 2 all-expense paid leadership camp trips. Every year, a handful of lucky students travel to Washington, D.C. and to a Colorado resort to learn about democracy. Over the years, we've funded projects that directly impact you. Projects that impact our kids, like funding for school supplies or new computers. Projects to help our neighbors, and projects that help build community, like the Stonewall Century Ride and the Gardner Chuck Wagon. You, our members, are our friends, our neighbors, and our family. Because all of our employees call Southern Colorado home. The most important part of San Isabel Electric is you, our member owners. We don't want you to think about us because your lights are out. We want you to think about us because we're here every day powering your community. We are San Isabel Country, and we're here to help you live your best life.
Hopefully that was a nice video. You get to enjoy it all. This kind of something that we do. Now I would entertain a motion from the membership to ratify the actions of the Board of Directors for the past year. I have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. Does any member here present wish to bring any old, unfinished, or new business to the Board of Directors today? If you do, or if you have comments, we do have microphones. You raise your hand, we'll take you a microphone and you can ask your questions or make a statement if you want. I don't see anybody. I don't see any hands raised. Although I don't have my glasses on either. Okay. Just a second so that everybody else can hear. Do we have a mic around here close by?
Thank you very much. I would just like to make sure that San Isabel is aware that in rural areas, very rural areas, when our electricity goes out, our phone also goes out. This has been a longstanding item that has been reported several times, and I don't know who that we follow up with, but for rural residents that lose their electricity and then lose their phones and have medical conditions, et cetera, it becomes quite a burden. And so I just want to make sure that you all are aware if you're not aware of that already. Thank you.
Yes, I can address that personally because I've heard that same complaint, have it in different areas. In actuality, the phone company is supposed to have backup power so that anytime our electricity goes down, their backup power takes over. But in some areas that are a long way away, they don't have. And we have complained along with the members that have complained to the phone company. They don't seem to want to respond. In the garden area, it happens that if the power goes out, the phone goes out and it does not come back on when the power is turned back on. It takes a phone company person to come out and switch everything back on. I don't know why. We've complained to them about it, but the phone company doesn't listen to us any more than they've listened to you. We're sorry about that, but we're trying to help, and all we can do is try to have less and less outages, which we are striving our best to do. Thank you.
Ray?
Okay, sounds like there's another one.
Hi. Years ago, I asked this question, and I
Okay.
wondered if you folks had time to think about it. Some of us live on a very tight budget, and I wanted to know if you had thought of instilling budget billing.
You want to answer that?
Thank you for your question. It is a question we've had we're going through the meter installation process right now, replacing all the meters, looking at that as a possible functionality in the future.
Okay, now I would like to call upon our general manager for his report. He has come to us. Our CEO is Ryan Allerton. Ryan, I'll call him to the stage. He was our chief financial officer since 2014, and now he's our general manager and chief financial officer since last December. Ryan?
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Thank you, especially for your guidance being early in this position. I know we've got a few more questions from the audience, so we'll take those here in a little bit. I'll try to get through this. Got to admit, I've been talking to a lot of you and I've really enjoyed that. It's been the best part of my day and my week, but my mouth's a little dry, so may need to get a sip once in a while. Thank you to our board of directors. We've heard a lot about the board today. On the screen here behind us, you'll see a picture of our board in action, doing what they love to do best, our scholarship program, our donation program, right over here in the cafeteria. It's one of our favorite programs and our best forms of outreach at San Isabel Electric. Our board's a special group with a diverse set of skills. Business owners, professional engineers, military veterans, tradesmen, ranchers, public servants, and a departing nuclear physicist. It's quite a talented group. Mr. Garcia is a veteran. Mr. Pickrell is a veteran. For the veterans in the audience that you stood earlier, and that flag out there at the front, that's for you today. This is a way to say thank you. What brings our board together is that they care about you, serving our members of this electric co-op. Thank you to our board. Mr. Sisto J. Mazza. Sisto has been our legal counsel for a long time at San Isabel Electric. Thank you for your guidance and for your service over many years. We look forward to many more. We truly appreciate you. Sisto is an asset day to day with our staff. My family's been members of San Isabel Electric since 2004. We moved to Pueblo West, spent a few years there. 2008, relocated to the Greenhorn Valley. It's the best place to live in America. Now, I don't want too many folks to know that because I don't want a lot of neighbors. It's just right. We've got a grocery store, a couple convenience stores. We've got a great hardware store, a lot of those gifts. I'm so proud of our team's effort on the local gifts today. If you haven't been to Ace Hardware Store in Carter City or Walsenburg Lumber, Big R, some of those places, check them out soon. I grew up in Lamar. Family was involved in education, agriculture, and athletics. And true story, I remember many times, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, being in this gym when my dad was coaching basketball games. I remember the murals. I was actually at the games when those guys that are painted up there were playing as a little kid. So you just never know where life may take you. It may come a complete full circle. Thank you to our employees at San Isabel Electric. I don't know what you think about when the wind's howling 90 miles an hour. I don't know what you think about when you wake up in the morning and you turn on the lights and you maybe start the coffee. I don't know what you think about when you wake up to a foot of snow. For the younger folks and for the parents, you might think about a snow day. It's the opposite of that at San Isabel Electric. When it starts to get bad, that's when our team really goes to work. So that's the first thing that's on my mind when those things happen. It's our employees and our team, and their safety is of paramount importance to me. We take a great deal of pride in our safety training programs, and we hold them to a very high standard to make sure that everyone comes home safely at the end of the day. Second is you, our members. And I see a lightning strike or I hear the wind howl and I think about fire, and I hope that it hasn't happened. And I think about damage to your homes, and I hope that it hasn't happened. And I think about outages, and I hope those things haven't happened. I hope that your power is on and that you're safe. Our job is to serve you, and it's a job we take very seriously. We're thankful to have that role in Southern Colorado. To our San Isabel employees, man, this has been a great event. So many people have come to me and come to our board members and talked about how great it is to be back together, to see each other, to shake hands, to have some fun. It's a little warm in here. You can thank Mr. Garcia for the idea to get those fans. That was 100% his idea. Thank you to Sherry for getting those printed, and to our team. If you ever need t-shirts, if you ever need things like that, check Sherry out. She's right up there in Carter City in the little strip mall by the Ace Hardware. And we found her to be a great local resource. Thank you, Sherry. I hope you enjoyed bingo today. I know I did. Linda Hall, she's been doing that for a couple decades. She's a former San Isabel Electric employee. I know at least 50 of you want a gift, and so you're probably real happy about bingo. But Linda, thank you. Yvette, Via Ponda Catering, great to have you back serving that wonderful home cooked meal again. Thank you to you and your team. John Mull High School staff, Huerfano County RE1 School District staff. I rolled in here about 6:15 this morning. I looked a little different, but I wasn't the first one here. I was the first one here from San Isabel Electric, but I saw all of their team. The doors were open. They were ready to go. I'm not sure what time Yvette got here. She might have beat all of them, but thank you, Huerfano County RE1 staff. Our business model is built on a trusting relationship. When you sign up for service, you become a member of San Isabel Electric. Your ownership share in our company is based on how much electricity you provide. We allocate that to you each year in the form of a capital credit. And each year about this time, the board takes a look at our financial condition and decides whether or not it's a good time to send you a check. Hopefully you all got a check just recently in the mail. We mailed those on September 8th. If you haven't gotten it yet, you'll get it soon. Thank you for our board's commitment to that model. I have to admit, I forgot a couple slides. I got a little nervous. Our employees. Our members, all of you, there you are. Thank you. Okay, I'm on the right one. Our power suppliers, Tri-State Generation and Transmission, have been mentioned a few times. Tri-State's a cooperative, just like San Isabel Electric. They generate power transmitted over high voltage lines to 42 distribution electric cooperatives, just like San Isabel Electric. Cover Colorado, Wyoming, New Mexico, and Panhandle, Nebraska. We have a voice at Tri-State. There's 42 members. Each member has a board director. Don Kearns is currently the vice chairman at Tri-State. Sometimes he gets to serve as the chairman. He's got a strong voice for your interest in our power supply. Don also leads the rate committee. Right now, Tri-State's going through a big rate design process and facing some pressures about that. Don leads that committee. So we know that our interests are well served at Tri-State. Thank you, Don. We also purchase some power locally. You drive north of Walsenburg, you see the butte, and you see the 4 wind turbines right there. Maybe they're not running when you see them, but if you're driving at night, they're going to be running most of the time. They're actually working very well, but we do get a lot of comments. How come those things aren't turning? They've actually run very well the last couple of years, but we buy about 3% of our power in our entire organization comes from those turbines. So just a little FYI. Our industry is facing a great deal of change. Today, our power comes from coal and gas and oil and hydro and solar and wind. But in Colorado, there's been a lot of legislative mandates and political pressures that have forced closures of some of those facilities and forced our business model to change. And Tri-State's facing a great deal of change that impacts us as well. You've probably heard about the brownouts. Mr. Pickrell mentioned those early brownouts in California, the Texas weather event, the renewables couldn't keep up with the cold. If you've read the Pueblo Chieftain just recently, some customers from Excel, 22,000 of them, in fact, just had their power shut off because of an issue at Comanche 3. So what I want you to know is this. When we survey you, you tell us, and you may have got those surveys in email or in past years over the phone, you tell us that reliability is number one, and our board of directors takes that very seriously. When they make decisions, first and foremost, they're thinking about reliable electricity and the resiliency of our grid. Mr. Garcia mentioned inflation. As we look at 2023, everything we buy is more expensive to continue to maintain our system, just like you're experiencing in your daily lives. And we've seen gas prices come down a little bit. We too have felt those impacts of COVID, supply chain issues, some of the materials that we need to build new line, to give you a new service. If you're looking to build a house, have very long lead times. And unfortunately, the longer a lead time on something, the more expensive it gets. So it's kind of a double whammy. And we're faced with that. Not having a rate increase since 2014 is something we're very proud of and have worked hard to do. Think back to 2014. That was 3 US presidents ago. That was, nobody had even thought about this COVID thing that was going to wreck things. But that was the last time that our board was forced into a rate decision, and There's not very many entities in our world that can say they've went that long without increasing rates. But right now with inflation projected at 8.2%, it's got a direct impact on everything we buy. It also affects the interest rates that we pay on loans. And so we want to continue to upgrade our system. We want to continue to improve our system. And so probably going to be looking at an increase. Same thing's happening at Tri-State. Today, a 40-foot class 4 power pole cost $793, day before yesterday. That same pole a year ago was $489. That's $304 more, 62%. We replace a lot of poles, right? It takes that to maintain our system. So we are not looking at a rate increase that's anywhere in that 60%. Oh my goodness, we're looking at a small rate increase, but labor costs continue to grow up. We have to recruit and maintain a qualified staff to do this work. It's very dangerous, very technical. So let's say you call us because you want to build a house. You talk with one of our member service representatives, you talk with engineering, you make a plan, we design the job, we go out and stake the job. We send the crews out to build the job. They're going to need a pole, transformer, some wire, some small pieces of material. And today that job is about 60% more than it was a year ago. Those are the realities of the supply chain and inflation in the world we're living in. But again, we're looking at a small increase to our access charge. We'll hold that rate here. Mr. Garcia talked about it. Thursday, November 3rd, over at the Huerfano County Community Center. Why do we do it in Huerfano County? Why do we do it here? It's central to our service territory. I know it means travel for some, but we also have an online option. And a few days before that meeting, we're going to post some information on our website. So if you're looking at a drive, take a look at our website and review that information. See if you think you really need to make that drive. I'm certainly not trying to discourage anyone from coming, but we realize the realities. This is the most central place to hold that. So just as today, that'll be an in-person meeting with the ability to view online. Our mission is to deliver on the promise of service and value. We are here to help. I encourage you to reach out to our team. You've met a lot of them today. Give us a call. Stop by one of our offices, Trinidad, Walsenburg, Pueblo West. Check out our website. I hope you're able to see our history project. Got a little crowded in the lunchroom, but maybe on your way out, take a look at that. It's a tremendous story about the history of rural electrification and our co-op. Hope you had a chance to visit our booths outside under the tent to learn a little more about the products and services we provide. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to help you with whatever your energy goals are. And through our Empower program, we can finance those products and services right on your electric bill. We can come to your home and help you figure out what might be the best solution for you or to your business. In fact, we got a grant to do some small business energy audits, and our team works to put those types of programs in place. We'll get some more information out to you about that. Maybe you have a question about an electric vehicle or about solar. We can help you answer those questions as well. Kids are probably our biggest passion. And this year we started a program in our local high schools. We just are finishing up at Rye High School. In 2 weeks, we'll be here at John Mall High School. A couple of weeks, we'll be down at Honey. In the spring, we'll be in Pueblo West. We'll be in La Vida. We'll be in Aguilar, Branson, Primero. And what we're trying to do is recruit kids to our industry. These are really good technical jobs. We'd love to find more kids that we can excite about this industry and keep them home and come to work for us. Our board's commitment to our community continues with the scholarship and donation program. If you've got some young folks in your family or a nonprofit type of a situation where you need a little donation help, please reach out. Encourage people to reach out. Maybe you're interested, maybe you're a small business owner and you're interested in expanding or starting a new business. We've got a young lady that dedicates a tremendous amount of time to connecting our members with small business development programs that we have access to through the USDA's Rural Economic Development Programs. Reach out, we can help you with those types of things. Look for us in the communities we serve. From time to time, we'll be there with our food trailer. It's sitting right out front. We'll be reaching out to say thank you with a hot dog, and a handshake and a smile. Thank you for being here today. Remember, we're here to help to serve you, our members. Together with you, we are San Isabel Electric. Thank you.
Did I see we had more questions before he started speaking? Okay, we have a hand raised over here. Have another one in the back.
Hello, I'm Susie Henry from Beulah. I have a question. The way I understand it, 3% of our electricity is furnished by solar power in San Isabel, but we get most of our electricity from Tri-State. How much does Tri-State use renewable fuel to generate the electricity? Thank you.
Go ahead.
Tri-State's renewable energy portfolio today is about 35% when you consider solar and wind. They also have hydro resources. They have a responsible energy plan that is integrating much more solar, and some of it's actually in our service territory. If you go out east of basically Aguilar, they've got a 30 megawatt solar field out there. So Tri-State is ramping up their renewable portfolio.
I'm a follower of the Colorado Country Life magazine, which I dearly love. Gives us a lot of information, but I'm concerned. You mentioned the wind power. They don't do much for my aesthetic value, but I know they are a help. What happens when they die? Are they recycled like an automobile, or are they going to be left there for our grandchildren and children to have to worry about?
Well, right now, we're hoping, in fact, looking into this to see about recycling, and it's especially a big thing for wind generators. Those blades, big long blades made out of fiberglass and other materials. Right now, it seems like what most everybody doing is burying them, which is not a good thing. So pushing for some kind of legislation to see if we can't get something going to recycle those. When it comes time for our solar units, you can't just recycle that glass because that glass is impregnated with lots of metals and different things. So it's got to be recycled in a certain way also. And just hopefully we start recycling that. This is something that has not really been addressed by legislators that are pushing hard for all the renewable energies. Yes, we need renewable energies. Yes, it'd be good to get away from maybe coal, but we have to look at what are we polluting by getting away from these things. And one of the things, this is mine, and my wife told me to shut up and not say anything about it, but a big thing is batteries. All these electric cars that everybody's pushing for, they have lithium batteries. Where is lithium coming from? A big supply is coming from South America. And we are polluting countries like Chile in South America by digging up this lithium and bringing it and processing it here. Now, to get that recycled is a big challenge because we're finding that lithium can start a fire. And lithium does not have to have oxygen to burn. It'll burn on its own. So if we start storing a lot of these batteries and they create a big fire, what happens with that? These are all questions that we as a board are trying to address, and we try to take these to our legislators to see if they would listen to us, which most of them don't want to. But it would help if you all in general, when you look at these things, also try to see if you get a hold of your legislators and see how we can address these things before it happens, because it's coming. We all know that renewables are here to stay and be an increase in supply. But we have to also take advantage of what's happening now and try to fix it before we leave it for our kids and grandkids to fix.
Ray,
Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Garcia and members of the board. Last year, June of 2021, the American Legion, along with other members of the community, brought the Vietnam Wall, the moving Vietnam Wall, to Huerfano County. Displayed It displayed the names of over 58,000 of our servicemen that were lost in the Vietnam War. And I would like to sincerely thank the board for their grant donation. It was one of the things that we were able to do along with the community to bring that wall to show the veterans and members of the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you. With that, as a veteran, we also have a World War II veteran sitting right up here in the front. We have very few of that generation left, and they did a wonderful job for us in keeping our democracy, and thank you again. I don't hear what he's saying. Is that on?
Hello. Well, anyway, Mr. Ray Garcia and Gerald, back in the 60s, when I was a young man and I moved here, your father was part of this San Isabel back then when this thing was starting to grow. And I could see how much greater it's gone. And you're part of the generation that took a lot of this on. And Gerald over here, his grandpa, and he's an important man here. He's our commissioner here. And his grandpa, Conrad, was the one that started 69 from down here, going up toward Gardner. It was a dirt road till the 60s and 70s. And I see everything that Jews have done. Like now this whole summer, poles have been going in and cross arms, transformers, everything that needs to be done. And I haven't had no trouble with my electricity or anything like that. As far as it goes, and your crews all look nice, neat, and they're all gentlemen and nice ladies. They're all very good selected, and I know we're gonna have more good workers like that because there's more people moving into our community. So that means more work, more things are happening for us. And one of the things that I know, we're gonna try to improve Gardner. As far as I know, I went to a couple of meetings. But one of the things that we really need, like the river bottoms, I don't know if your river bottom here or La Vida's river bottoms are full of brush, branches and everything. If you have any used chippers or anything like that, 3 of them, and you guys buy new ones because you guys do a good job on the trees because I know you've been to the house. If we could get some chippers, and I know I'm a property owner and there ain't really personal favors, but if I knew that the county had a chipper and I know how to run it, or you get a crew that knows how to run it, come clean up your river bottom. And if you guys could help us, San Isabel could help each community like that, I think it would be something great, something strong, and make us stronger for the San Isabel. And basically, San Isabel's doing, no complaints from my end. Doing a great job. Your parents did a good job. And the other thing, I miss Joe Garcia, I miss Mr. Rodriguez, the Villa, the Amadeus. They were here every year except for the last couple of years that we haven't come. And I haven't missed it for 30, 40 years. My family's been for San Isabel for over 75 years. So thank yous all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Over here. We want everyone else to hear your question also or your comment. Thank you.
How much of your cost increases are driven by the politically correct agenda of renewable energy?
Ask the question again. Ask the question again.
How much of your cost increases are driven by the politically correct agenda to go renewable energy?
It's difficult to answer. At San Isabel Electric, we purchase power from Tri-State, so those increases are really felt at the Tri-State level. So they flow down to us in power supply. Power supply is about 60% of our budget. And so just kind of give you a perspective on that. But really where those costs are felt are initially are at Tri-State, the power supply level. They flow down to us. Really hard to answer that. Tell you what we'll try to do is have some more information at the rate committee hearing and then post that on our website. We'll work with Tri-State because it's a complex question. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just a quick question as a member of Tri-State. Do you know whether Tri-State is trying to do anything to improve the efficiency of like the San Isabel solar facility by utilizing storage for excess electricity or anything like that at this point?
Yeah. Yeah, we really don't know yet as to what that actually would be in the way of cost. But, overall, it's just probably a small one, but that's a big outfit, so it's hard to get that number directly. Anyone else? I don't see anyone else. What I would like to ask for now is, we need 3 or 4 kids as volunteers to come up and draw names for prizes. So if we get some little kids up here. Yeah. Okay. As Ryan Ellison said earlier, our gifts that we get this year, we decided to buy them from local businesses instead of getting them from just Pueblo, so that we help all our local businesses throughout our service territory. Yep. Where do we have a gift number 1? Okay. Gift number 1 is the DeWalt electric trimmer purchased by Big R. This would go to Ellen C. Aguirre or William Aguirre.
Gone. They're gone.
They're gone. They went home. Okay, then how about Lee Ferraro? Lee Ferraro, I see a hand up over here. Number 2 is a Craftsman weed whacker purchased from Greenhorn Valley Ace. That would go to Thomas W. Miles or Sharon Miles, right here. The next is a shop vac purchased at the Walsenburg Lumber. This would go to Catherine Conlon. Catherine Conlon. Okay, way toward the back. This. Okay. Number 4 is a DeWalt cordless drill purchased at Big R. That would go to Charlotte Baker. Charlotte Baker. Way in the back. Okay. She's standing. Number 5 is a Still electric pressure washer purchased from Greenhorn Valley Ace Hardware. Goes to Elaine Burnett. I know I saw her here earlier. Elaine. She left. I know I saw her earlier. Okay. Then it would go to Richard Cruz, Rosalind Cruz. Okay, standing. Number 6 is an Ego 18-inch cordless electric chainsaw from Tri-State G&T. This will go to David Tessitore or Mary. I see him back over there. Number 7 is a double wide padded sofa purchased at Big R, and a lavender gift basket purchased from Spanish Peaks Lavender Farm. This would go to Albert Martinez. Do I see Albert? Not seeing Albert, then okay. Then Carmen Lara. All right, now here she is. She's right there. Stand up, Carmen, if you would, so they'd get to you. Number 8 is a Gorilla cart purchased at Greenhorn Valley Ace Hardware. That goes to Jesse A.L. Hamilton. Jesse Hamilton. I don't see Jesse Hamilton. Okay, then the next one to go to Jim Carthel. Jim Carthel, okay. Right here in the middle. Number 9 is a 6-piece cast iron set purchased at Big R. That would go to Gary D. Blackman or Leanne Blackman. I see over here. Number 10 is a DeWalt cordless corded air infiltrator purchased at Big R. Goes to Larry Patrick or Terry Patrick. Larry Patrick over here.
Are they helping draw names for the $50?
Yes. Okay, that's it for those gifts. What we have next is we're going to give away 20 $50 bills. So the I have them. I don't care who gives them out. The first one will go to Ginger Shrout, or Rodell Shrout. Oh, there she is. Jumped right up. The next one goes to Sam Molinaro. Sam Molinaro. I know I saw him earlier. Okay. Next one would go to Alan West. Alan West. Right here. Next one goes to Robert L. Tripp. Robert Tripp. Standing back there. Robert Tripp. Next one goes to Ray Welch or Tammy Welch. Okay. Are you keeping track of how many?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one goes to Erica Cole or Larry Cole. Right here. Okay. Next one goes to Jan Martinez or Jan Martinez, San Juan Plaza. Okay, there she is standing. The next one will go to Linda Donnelly. Linda Donnelly. I see her hand raised back here. If you keep your hand raised so they'll see you. There, she stood up. Next one will go to Margaret Fodor, Beverly Fodor. Are we about done with them or not? Next one, Marilyn McDonald. Marilyn McDonald. Okay, see her standing over here. Next one, Sam Pacheco. Sam Pacheco. I don't see Sam Pacheco. Okay, we'll give it to April Martinez. April Martinez. No April? How about Larry Mapes? I know I saw him earlier, but they left. Okay. Sandra Jacobs or Anthony Jacobs? Sandra or Anthony Jacobs? Right here. Ella Evans. Ella Evans. No. Alexander Lukens. Alexander Lukens. Okay. We're in the back over there. Todd Schneider. Todd Schneider. I see him standing over here, with a hand up. Moore. David Moore. David Moore. Okay, in the blue. Henry Pacheco. Henry Pacheco. Scott Berthelot. Scott Berthelot. He went home. Okay. Carol Clark. Okay, Carol. How many more? Huh? Dennis Schneider. Dennis Schneider. Over here on this side. Connor Orr. Connor Orr. Gary Geiselbrecht. Oh, that's a pretty good name. Gary Geiselbrecht. He's back here standing. Okay. Cecil Sauer or Loretta Sauer, right here. And the last one is going to be going to Virginia Archuleta. Virginia, I know I saw her earlier. Way in the back, okay. Stand up, Virginia. Oh, she is standing. No, that's okay.
We've got gifts for the kids helping. That would be all the money.
Okay, we have gifts for the kids that came up and helped. Now for what you've all been waiting for, the grand prize, which is free electricity for 1 year, capped at $1,500. I know everyone wants that. And if you don't get it, it's Debbie's fault. So the winner, if the winner is present, is Neil Elliott. Neil Elliott, right here. Okay. That's it. Okay, well, thank you all for attending this year's annual meeting. We're here to serve you, to help you with your energy needs. We are committed to providing the reliable electric service you depend on in power for your lives. We hope you enjoyed the food, the game, the prizes, and we hope to leave you today feeling like you are part of something special, and that something special is the San Isabel Electric Cooperative family. Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn. So moved and second. We are adjourned. Thank you.